Hi, I'm Thomas. I'm from Busby Marou, and you're listening to Torrent This with Dando.
Welcome back to Torrent This with Dando, and now I'm joined on the line by a member of a band who, after releasing their debut self-titled album back in June, have quickly become a familiar name in the Australian music scene, with hits such as their debut single, Biding My Time. And they'll be performing at the Torquay Hotel on January 13th. And of course, talking about Busby Marou, and I'm lucky to be joined on the line by their singer, Tom. Tom, thanks for your time, man, and how's things?
Very well, thanks, Brennan.
Busy week?
It's been pretty crazy times, actually. The last 6 months has been, everything's been busy about it, but thankfully it's been great fun. So, we never complain now.
How was your Christmas and New Year's, man?
Yeah, fantastic. We got to go home for the first time in about 3 months, and it was so good to see the family. And we tried to catch up on a bit of sleep, but there's all these friends and family that we had to catch up with out and about. So we didn't get too much sleep, but we did have a lot of fun.
Did Santa bring you what you wanted?
He certainly did. A pair of Peter Alexander pajama pants that didn't fit me because I've been put on that much weight on tour.
Oh. Too much beer?
I didn't tell Mum.
What was your New Year's resolution, man?
Try to eat salad at lunchtime.
I saw that if you guys get in Triple J 100, Jerry's going to stop eating takeaway food or something at service stations?
Well, that was that message comes from our manager, but we all want it to happen because the bus rides have been pretty ordinary when he eats the hot box.
Oh, really? I'm not going to ask why. I think it's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Now, getting to the tour and album, how have your lives changed since the release of Biding My Time?
Oh, mate, look, I suppose for one, this is our full-time job now. We used to have other jobs, wearing suit and tie and sweating it up here in Queensland and that gear. But now our life is travelling around this bloody great country and playing music and and just trying to improve on what we do and just that's the most obvious change. But apart from that, we haven't really had time to sit back and reflect about the last year or the last half of the year. It's been pretty full on. We haven't stopped, and it's something new to us. It's quite a challenging change, but it's just been so much fun as well. And hopefully this continues, and we can make this our career forever.
What were you guys doing before you were in the band, or before the band took off?
I was actually a solicitor, a lawyer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a bad one. I wasn't good at all, but I did rock up in a suit occasionally.
Yeah.
But no, look, it was a tough time. I was coming into the day job every day. All I could think of was music. Jeremy was actually a CEO of a Indigenous Elders Committee up in Rockhampton, which was full on as well. So we both had pretty full on jobs, and we've been juggling that for years, both the music and the work. So when it was time to jump, it was a very satisfying feeling. I actually can remember I went in to get some time off, but realised that, I asked my boss, can I have, I need this time off and that time off, and looks like June, June, July, August as well, October. And we just looked at each other and he said, mate, come on, I think it's time. And
get out of here.
I said, you know what it is? So I went back, wrote the resignation letter, took a photo of it, sent it to all the boys in the band and said, every day is a Saturday.
With the debut album, was it what you'd envisioned, or are you like a perfectionist that's never 100% satisfied with his own work?
At the time, probably definitely what we envisaged. It was it's come across as this great, I suppose, what we thought was reflective of where we were from, our home, town of Central Queensland, and the coastal and country vibe that both of us have been brought up in. But, listening back now and then playing the way we play them live now, as we've developed and played so many shows, I suppose you're always improving, and you always look back and think, oh, that could have been a better bass line, or wouldn't that be cool if we changed the keys here? And, so, but it's just like, I suppose, any profession, always trying to grow and evolve. But really happy with that because it captured a great moment for us, a really good few months of, it's recording and writing, and so, it is what it is, and really still brings back great memories.
Yeah. Did you record any songs that you left off which you felt could or should have made it onto the album?
Yeah, plenty. Plenty that definitely shouldn't have. A couple of, perhaps slower ballads. My view was always from the start, probably mine more so than Jeremy, is I'm a complete album kind of person.
Yeah.
I need the album to be from 1 to 10 or 12 or however many tracks are on it, it has to one match. It has to be a piece, and I love albums like that. And I kind of, and I understand it's really hard to do. Often you get an album where there might be 4 or 5 cracking songs, one particular gem, but then there might, I feel there might be just some letdowns or just ones you skip. But I feel like if the album can tell a story from start to finish, then, that's where I come into play with the structure of it. And the hardest part about that is culling songs that you either love, one, because you might already have a slow ballad on there, or two, because it might sound too either country or too surfy or too, all these strange things that just don't match the rest of the theme, I suppose, of the album, and that's what we did.
Biding My Time, it sort of just came out of the blue, didn't it? You sort of wrote it in 30 minutes or something?
Yeah, definitely the quickest song we wrote. I wish all the songs were that easy to write. It seems to be the one that people like the most, unfortunately. But look, we were sitting in the studio packing up, and we're packing up from pre-production. All the songs were recorded in terms of, our pre-production style, ready to go in, for the next phase. And I was just mucking around with some chords and sitting in long, and just Jeremy happened to be there. And if you ever hear something that, he takes a liking to, all sit up and strum along. And the producer was hearing it because it was still coming through the mics and the speakers outside. So he just pressed record. Then he came into it and said, "I'm sorry, boys, we're here again. Let's get down. There's something about this song." And anyway, so it was only just like at that stage of melody, and I just said, "Well, look, give us a bit of time." And I went outside and wrote some lyrics, what I was thinking about at the time, and it was just really naturally easy, which is not, I've got to say, it's not, that's not the same process with all the songs, but, hopefully we get another easy song like that.
Are you sick of playing it yet?
Surprisingly not, because we play it so different every time. We've got a couple of different formats, and, it's what I suppose we're going to bring to Torquay is one of our favourite formats is this acoustic full band format.
Yep.
So we've got this style where we might just do it the duo style, where you really see Jeremy, you see his natural ability flaring out from the guitar, or you've got the full band style where it sounds like the album.
Yep.
We don't get to play that often because I feel it needs a bit of a story to it, and I love the way Jeremy plays it without the full band behind him. But what we're bringing to Torquay is it's basically the acoustic set with a bit of a cajon and the percussion and a small rhythm section to it, which just gives it a nice vibe, that kind of a coastal feel, feel to it.
I've read a few online reviews on you guys. Are these something you pay particular attention to?
I can't find any.
Really?
Would do. Yeah, are they album reviews or?
Yeah, album reviews, and on your live performances, yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely. We're always interested in knowing what people think, from all types of genres. But, and also to rate our performance sound point of view, it's always good to try to keep developing.
How would you react to a negative review?
I'd be upset. I'd be like, of course, but no, we're very, very fair now. We've learnt to, when you can take your music personal and people's opinions of it personally, but look, if they're spot on, and most of the time some of them are, with little things, then they're right, and then that just gives you something to improve on. But, if they just genuinely don't like your music, there's nothing you can do about it. You just got to get over it, I suppose.
Yeah. Do you think if the album received a few negative reviews that it would change the way you went about writing music in the future? That's
a good question. Yes. You know what? It shouldn't do, but, you're only human. I think it probably would. And I'd have to say, if we left some of these songs on that I was saying that we culled, I think that the album might have got, a lot of, I wouldn't have received probably as many good reviews.
Yeah. Why is that?
Because it would have changed the whole atmosphere and the theme of that album.
Yeah.
And I think what I'm getting from a lot of the good reviews is that people are obviously enjoying the, the Australian way of kind of somehow, and it's Australian kind of coastal summer vibe to the album itself.
Yep.
With a bit of country influence in there, and of course from the beef capital, so it makes sense. And some of these other songs would have even just one song just being in there out of place would have changed the whole theme of it. And so that's why I'm so critical when it comes to song selection for albums.
Does Jeremy's Indigenous background influence your songwriting styles?
It definitely influences the harmonies.
Yep.
And he's a Torres Strait Islander, and his family have just got these amazing melodies and this gift to just pick up any instrument and play it as natural as you and I can walk. That's his whole family. It's amazing. None of them have ever been taught. They just can play everything.
Yeah.
And some people have it, and he's got it, and so do the rest of his family. And so his upbringing with the traditional cultural Islander song and dance, and the Torres Strait Islander song style is just, it's beautiful. The harmony's incredible, and it's definitely it's definitely shaped the way that we write. I like to say that the harmonies are, well, they're my favourite part of our music anyway.
Were you two mates long before you formed the band?
Oh yeah, we were and we weren't. Rocky's not such a small, it's not such a big place, but it's, it's small enough where you kind of know most people. And but Jeremy and I, growing up, didn't know each other. I was a couple of years older, and I went away to Brisbane for university. But then when I come home on the holidays, so I probably knew each other for about 4 years while I was going to uni, and come home on the uni holidays, and he was playing in my mate's band, and I'd play before him with my acoustic guitar and sing my originals, and they'd sing all their cheesy covers. But he was such a freak, you just tell he had it there, that I always knew that, if I had a chance, I'd get him to sort of kind of come and had to shape my little folk songs, and what he brings to my folk songs definitely adds to the flavour of everything. It changes my songs completely, and I suppose my songs change the way he sounds on his own or with another band.
Yeah.
It's probably typically very country or blues orientated, where it's now got that maybe folk pop inspired feel.
He's a big country fan, yeah?
Oh yeah, he is really big. And a lot of Indigenous Australians are big country fans, country and western.
Yep.
You'll find, say he's grown up on.
They love Slim Dusty.
I love him.
Yeah.
But Jeremy, he's a big fan of the modern country as well. He loves Keith Urban and Brad Paisley and these players. Probably, the biggest reason there is because of his guitar, their guitar playing. He loves guitar, good guitarist, good country guitarist. And you can tell with his style of playing, he plays this Telecaster, he'll rip it up just Keith Urban does. And, I wasn't a fan of Keith Urban until I met Jeremy. He made me, watch these DVDs and you can't deny the talent that he's got.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And so as soon as we embraced each other's, I suppose, musical taste, then it was probably the time that, our music became what it was, and that's the style that, I hope that, it's become today.
Now, with the upcoming Coastal Tour, how has the band format differed?
Oh, it's going to be great. We've got, as I was saying earlier, we've got 3 different formats: duo, or the full band, which is just everything, the drums, bass, electric, rhythm. But this one's going to be, this is our favourite. It's like a duo set, but with a rhythm section and with bass, but the drums is a complete cajon, stomp box, chimes, little cymbals, percussion setup. So, he can almost, DJ is such a wonderful drummer that he can make the whole outfit sound like a complete drum kit, but it just doesn't take it away from that acoustic vibe, which I think our music's all about in the end.
Yeah.
Sometimes, it's easy to do, just continue to add instruments and electric guitars and things, but this time we're just going to make it as natural and acoustic as possible with just these nice little flavours around it.
I've read that Brisbane is your home away from home, so how come you've left it off the tour schedule?
Well, we played in Brisbane not so long ago, so we did. I suppose the idea with this tour schedule is that we're going to base it around, a coastal and regional run.
Yep.
So January, we've just finished a national tour, and we did the big cities and some towns we've never really seen before, which was a great experience.
Yeah.
But this time, we want to come to the coastal places where people may be still holidaying, really in that mode still, where they feel like they want to have a Corona, or just come down and just in thongs and shorts. And
yeah, we're still getting 40-degree days down here.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
We're sick of wearing jeans, so maybe we can go back to, what we're used to, and that's wearing thongs and shorts.
Yeah. When you guys come to Torquay, can you please play Girls Just Want to Have Fun? Because no shit, man, that is by far my favourite track on the Like a Virgin CD.
Awesome. Yeah, of course, man, of course. I suppose we're crazy not to with the Triple J Hottest 100 coming up and all. We better add it in, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, look, we'll give whatever the crowd wants, we'll play. It's really looking forward to it.
Yeah, man, to hit with Girls, trust me, because I got it as a Christmas present, the CD, and my girlfriend and sister made me play it over and over again on the way to lunch in the car.
Well, look, it's going to be fun. Yeah, look, we'll play it. I'll get Jeremy to do an extra solo in it or something like that up at some stage. Give him a few beers and let him loosen up, and it's quite a sight to see when he's feeling pretty good on the guitar. Especially with that song, he has heaps of fun with it.
Does he know how good he is? Like, does he let you know it?
He wouldn't let me know it in front of anyone, but he lets me know it at home. No, he's a very humble person. He really is quite humble and quietly spoken in front of people, but just like we all are when we get back home behind home doors.
Yep.
We, especially in the van, tour van, we all like to give it to each other. There's no bring each other back down to ground and talk each other up as much as possible. It's just it's a fun time.
Do you guys come out and meet and greet with fans after you finish the gig?
Yeah, I think that's our bread and butter. Not because we have to, because that's just what we do. I mean, that's what we've always done, and we're born and raised to do that in Rocky. That's what we did at the Oxford Hotel in Rockhampton for an entire year, where we, I suppose, honed our craft. Is we never left that place. We played there 5 times a week, and I suppose the success we had there was all a result of. When I look back at it now, just maybe the interaction with the crowd, just everyone was our friend.
Yeah.
I go back to Rocky now, and I first place I go is the Oxford, and when I go out, everyone's still our mates. Just no one really knows each other's names, but you feel like you do.
Yeah. You guys started music for that place, didn't you?
Well, yeah. Look, it was the Oxford's only a very small place, and it's owned by a manager or the manager's family. And I used to ring up if I wanted to, if I missed a flight back to Brisbane for uni, or I wanted a mate to stay an extra night, have a big night with me. I'd ring up and say, look, all you have to do is just book him a flight home, or I'll play for free. I'll bring a big crowd. Just give us free drinks for the night. That's what I used to do all the time, and there was no one there, and I used to do it on my own. It's basically a free place to have a party. I'd set up a party. But then Jeremy and I started playing there. It was like our little rehearsal space, and there was no acoustic music in Rocky at the time. It was just a couple of old dudes with electric guitars and a drum machine around. As cheesy as it can get, and believe it or not, people actually wanted to hear some real music.
Yeah.
And that's what we did for the whole year, and it's just a massive influx of these really talented young bands coming through.
What do you prefer more, playing in front of, say, 100 people at a pub or thousands at a festival?
Well, it depends, we played with Dolly Parton a while back. It's such a great experience. There's 10,000 people there, but you feel like you're just playing to Jeremy. I just feel like you're just playing to yourself.
Yeah.
It's got that vibe about it, but it is special in that regard. You get to meet Dolly and the presence, but something about playing, and it just it's I suppose what we're good at, what we know, is just playing to 100 people in an area that can only fit 80 people. Where it's just heaps of fun, and I'd have to say that for sure.
What was it like playing for Dolly Parton? Look, the crowd obviously would have been in their 60s.
No.
Really?
No, it was surprising. The crowd were anywhere from kids all the way up to 60s. There was there was a wide range of young teenage girls. And,
really?
Yeah, and boys. There was a huge a gay.
I was going to say, and boys.
As well, which was really fun. Like, they were having a ball. And then there was the mothers and daughters situation, and she has covered all generations, currently are living, and all styles and types of people, and she's an icon, musical icon.
What's she like as a person? Did you get to meet her?
Yeah, we did, only very briefly, probably for about 3 minutes.
Really?
It's amazing. You understand why? She's that big, and we don't get starstruck.
Yeah.
But when she walked into the room, it was really weird. It was, and a very strange feeling. You felt like, you knew there was some presence in the room, and she'd walked in, she had 3 people holding her with an umbrella, and it was because she's just about to go on the show, you know, not to mess up her outfit, and you're thinking, oh, this is a bit too much, but as soon as she walks in the room, howdy, y'all.
Yeah.
How you going? Come on over here. And you shake her hand, she talks to you, and you have a photo, and it's like, next, you know.
Well, is that...
I was certain that she didn't even know we were supporting her, but we said, oh yeah, these boys are your support act.
Yeah.
She hadn't had a support act for 30 years.
Yeah, I was going to ask that, because she never gets people supporting her.
No, because she does like a full show, where she does 2 sets, but for some reason she had to have a support act at the Hunter Valley, and we were fortunate enough to jag that spot. But, yeah, we told her that we were supporting her, and she got the word, and oh yes, of course. I heard you. I wound down my window of the van, and oh, you were wonderful. And I'm sure she didn't. And, what was your name again?
Yeah.
Oh, good luck in your career, boy. It was really funny.
Now, we're just running a little bit low on time. I'll ask a couple more questions. What does 2012 hold for you guys?
Oh, look, it's going to be a lot busier than last year, that's for sure. But it's a phenomenal amount of touring, and just continue to spread the word, I suppose. To spread our music and just get around the country to, I don't know, just to get this album out there. We'd love to get out there a lot.
Yeah.
A heap of festivals, and some great festivals at that as well.
You guys are playing the Blues Fest, yeah?
And St Kilda Festival and Sydney Festival, and all these great festivals that we can't wait to be a part of.
Yep.
And we're going over to South by Southwest, so we're going to do a month over at the US.
Okay, cool.
And Canadian Music Week, so that'll be fantastic. And then, my goal, or both our goals, we've got that much material for this next album. We want to get in and start writing. We're getting itchy feet. We have been, continuously writing, but we really want to get in and get another album out before the year's out. So, but we'll see how everything else falls into place, and I suppose that'll help us make the decisions of what's coming up next.
Got any names in mind for the new album?
No, nothing yet. We really haven't had a good hit out with Jeremy. What we'll do is we'll go over to one of the islands, or go back home, one of our beaches, or wherever we're generally pretty comfy, and we'll sit down for a couple of weeks and nut out all our songs from acoustic level, and maybe something will come from there.
You should just take the piss and call it Tom and Jerry.
Well, that's what my dad used to call us.
Yeah.
That's why he came up with Busby Marou so quickly, because he would run into the pub in his pajamas and go, Tom and Jerry,
yeah.
in front of all the girls, and we'd be like, shut up, Dad.
Yeah. God damn it, Dad. All right, there's one last question. I ask this to everybody, is what advice do you have for all aspiring songwriters and musicians?
Oh, look, that's probably what a lot of people would say, is just, don't think you've got to write to a style that's current today. Don't think you've got to be Indian cool and wear tight jeans because someone else is doing it. If you want to write a love song that might be a ballad, then do it. Write whatever you want to write. And if you're true, then, my view is that music, the reality of it will shine through. Otherwise, you'll be copying everyone else, which is what happens.
Well, there you go. If you haven't already, make sure you grab yourself a copy of Busby Marou's self-titled debut album. And if you're in the area on January 13th, get on down and check out the boys as they take the stage at the Torquay Hotel. Once again, Tom, thanks for your time, man, and good luck with the tour.
No sweat. Thank you for having me.
No worries, man. Catch you later.